The Rigveda, hymn 4.9, 8 verses. Agna, show favor, great art thou, who to this pious man art come. To seat thee on the sacred grass, may he the immortal, helper, hard to be deceived among mankind, become the messenger of all. Around the altar is he led, welcome, chief priest at solemn rites, or as to Potar sits him down, Agna and fire at sacrifice, and in the house as lord thereof, and as a Brahmin takes his seat, thou comest as the guide of folk who celebrate the sacrifice, and two oblations brought by men. Thou servest as his messenger, whose sacrifice thou lovest well, to bear the mortal's gifts to heaven. Accept our solemn rite, be pleased and gracious with our sacrifice. Give ear and listen to our call. May thine inviolable car, wherewith thou guardest those who give, come near to us from every side. And we try to do the rituals as perfectly from the outward sense and the inward sense as we can, but let us also ask that they be accepted. In the Islamic tradition, people say astaghfirullah following their acts of worship, and they're not asking to be forgiven for their prayer, they're asking to be forgiven for their mistakes, including the mistakes that aberrated the prayer, right? Hopefully there were none, but hymn 4.10, Agna, 8 verses. This day with praises, Agna, we bring thee that which thou lovest, right judgment like a horse with our devotions, for thou hast ever been the car driver, Agna, of noble strength, lofty sacrifice, and rightful judgment. Through these our praises, come thou to meet us, bright as the sunlight, O Agna, well disposed, with all thine aspects. Now may we serve thee, singing these lauds, this day to thee, Agna. Loud as the voice of heaven, thy blasts are roaring, just at this time of the day and the night. Thy look is the sweetest, it shineth near us, even as gold for glory. Spotless thy body, brilliant as gold, like clarified butter. This gleams like gold on thee, O self-dependent, all hate and mischief. Yea, if committed, Agna, thou turnest, Holy One, from the man who rightly worships. Agna, with you gods prosperous be our friendships and kinships. Be this our bond here by this place, thine altar. Hymn 4.11, Agna, 6 verses. Thy blessed majesty, victorious Agna, shines brightly in the neighborhood of Surya. Splendid the sea it shows even at night time, and food is fair to look on in thy beauty. Agna, disclose his thought for him who singeth, the well strong God, while thou art praised with fervor. Vouchsafe to us that powerful hymn, Almighty, which radiant one, with all the gods thou lovest. From thee, O Agna, springs poetic wisdom. From thee come thoughts and hymns of praise that prosper. From thee flows wealth with heroes to adorn it. To the true-hearted man who gives oblation, from thee the hero springs who wins the booty, bringer of help, mighty of real courage. From thee comes wealth sent by the gods, bliss-giving Agna. From thee the fleet, impetuous charger, immortal Agna, thee whose voice is pleasant, as first in rank as God. Religious mortals, invite with hymns thee, who removest hatred, friend of the home, the household's lord, unerring. Far from us thou removest want and sorrow. Far from us all ill will when thou protectest. Son of strength, Agna, bless Blessed is he at evening, whom thou, as God, attendest for his welfare. And when we actually have something that's inspired or revealed, let us cherish these things. Hymn 4.12, Agni, 6 verses. Whoso enkindles thee with lifted ladle, and thrice this day offers thee food, O Agni. May he excel, triumphant, through thy splendors, wise through thy mental power, O Vedas. Whoso with toil and trouble brings thee fuel, serving the majesty of mighty Agni. He kindling thee at evening, and at morning prospers and comes to wealth. It slays his foeman. Agni is master of sublime dominion. Agni is lord of strength and lofty riches. Straightway the self-reliant god, most youthful, gives treasures to the mortal who adores him. Most youthful god, whatever sin through folly we here as human beings have committed, in sight of Aditya, make thou us, sinless, remit entirely, Agni, our offenses. Even in the presence of great sin, O Agni, free us from prison of the gods, our mortals. Never may we, who are thy friends, be injured. Grant health and strength unto our seed and offspring, even as ye hear God's excellent. And holy, never loose the cow that by the foot was tethered. So also set us free from this affliction. Long let our life, O Agni, be extended. And in general, when we do what's right, it actually helps in extending life. I mean, sometimes there's risks, involved in doing what is right because it's difficult and you have to contend with others or something. But Hymn 4.13, Agni, 5 verses. But, it's not like we're injured as soul unless we do wrong, right? Agni hath looked, benevolently minded, on the wealth-giving spring of radiant mornings. Come, Athens, to the dwelling of the pious. Surya, the god, is rising with his splendor. Savitar, god, hath spread on high his luster, waving his flag like a spoil-seeking hero. Their established way go Varuna and Mitra. What time they make the sun ascend the heaven. Him whom they made to drive away the darkness, lord of sure mansions, constant to their object, him who beholds the universe, the sun god, 7 strong and youthful coursers carry onward, spreading thy web with mightiest steeds thou comest, rending apart, thou god, the black-hued mantle, the rays of Surya, tremulously shining sink, like a hide, the darkness in the waters. How is it that, unbound and not supported, he filleth, not although directed downward? By what self-power moves he who hath seen it? He guards the vault of heaven, a close-set pillar. And without pillars that you can see, well, there are forces of nature. So it's not like, the sky and all that stuff is held up by, like it's some sort of tent or something. But there's the spin of the earth and the fact that the earth has gravity, even if it doesn't spin. And magnetism and a bunch of stuff. Anyways, not gonna go into that. But in 4.14, Agni, 5 verses. The god hath looked, even Agni Jatavedas, to meet the dawns refulgent in their glories. Come on your chariot, ye who travel widely. Come to the sacrifice of ours, the Satyas, producing light for all the world of creatures. God Savitar hath raised aloft his banner, making his presence known by sunbeams. Surya hath filled the firmament, and earth and heaven. Red dawn is come, riding with brightness onward, distinguished by her beams. Gay-hued and mighty, dawn on her nobly harnessed car, the goddess, awakening men to happiness, approacheth. May those most powerful steeds and chariot bring you, O Asphins, hither at the break of morning. Here for your draught of meat or summa juices, at this our sacrifice rejoice. Ye mighty, how is it that, unbound and unsupported, he falleth not, although directed downward? By what self-power moves he, who hath seen it? He guards the vault of heaven, a close-set pillar. And the skies actually hold back some things from hitting Earth or break them up or otherwise. Hymn 4.15 Agna, or otherwise establish, the domain of one planet or another. So Agni, 10 verses. Well, it's the same size as 5 verses, but Agni the herald, like a horse, is led forth at our solemn rite. God among gods, adorable, 3 times unto our solemn rite comes Agni like a charioteer, bearing the viands to the gods. Round the oblations hath he paced, Agni the wise, the Lord of strength, giving the offer precious boons. He who is kindled eastward for Srinjaya, Devavata's son, resplendent, tamer of the foe. Some mighty be the Agni whom the mortal hero shall command, with sharpened teeth and bountiful. Day after day they dress him as they clean a horse who wins the prize. Dress the red skin of the sky. When Sahadeva's princely son, with 2 bay horses, thought of me, summoned by him I drew not back, and truly those 2 noble bays I straightway took when offered me. From Sahadeva's princely son, of Sahadeva Samaka, cause him, the youthful prince, the son of Sahadeva, to enjoy long life, O Asphins, O ye gods. And it's important to adorn each day and to think of its meaning in how you ritually adorn. 4, 16, 21 verses. Sorry, my stomach noises. I have not eaten today. Don't intend to. Impetuous, true. Let Margavan come hither, and let his tawny coursers speed to reach us. For him have we pressed juice, exceeding potent. Here praised with song, let him effect his visit. Unyoke as at thy journey's end, O hero, to gladden thee today at this libation. Like Usana the priest, the laud shall utter a hymn to thee, the Lord divine who markest, when the bull, quaffing, praises our libation, as a sage paying holy rites in secret. 7 singers here from heaven hath he begotten, who e'en by day hath wrought their works while singing. When heaven's fair light by hymns was made apparent, they in great splendor shine at break of morning. He with his succor, best of heroes, scattered the blinding morning. He with his succor, best of heroes, scattered the blinding darkness, so that men saw clearly. Indra, impetuous one, hath waxed immensely. He with his vastness hath filled earth and heaven. E'en beyond this his majesty extendeth, who hath exceeded all the worlds in greatness. Sakra, who knoweth well all human actions, hath with his eager friends let loose the waters. They with their songs cleft e'en the mountain open, and willingly disclosed the stall of cattle. He smote away the floods. Obstructor, Vidra, earth conscious, lend her aid to speed thy thunder. Thou sentest forth the waters of the ocean. As Lord through power and might, O daring hero, when much invoked the waters' rock, thou cleftest. Surama showed herself and went before thee, hidden by Angarasas, bursting the cow stalls. Much strength thou foundest for us as our leader. Come, Magavan, friend of man, to aid the singer, imploring thee in battle for the sunlight. Speed him with help in his inspired invokings. Down sink the sorcerer, the prayerless Dasyu. Come to our home, resolved to slay the Dasyu. Kutsa longed eagerly to win thy friendship. Alike in form, ye both sate in his dwelling. The faithful lady was in doubt between you. Thou comest fain to succor him. With Kutsa, a goad that masters both the wind god's horses, that holding the brown steeds like spoil for capture, the sage may on the final day be present. For Kutsa with thy 1,000 thou at daybreak didst hurl down. Sushna, foe of harvest, quickly with Kutsa's friend, destroy the Dasyus, and roll the chariot wheel of Surya near us. Thou to the son of Vidathan, Rajasthan gavest up, mighty Mrigaya and Pipru. Thou smotest down the swarthy 50,000, and rentest forts as age consumes a garment. What time thou settest near the sun thy body, thy form, immortal one, is seen expanding. Thou, a wild elephant, with might invested, like a dread lion, as thou wieldest weapons, wishes for wealth have gone to Indra, longing for him in war for light and at libation, eager for glory, laboring with praise songs. He is like home, like sweet and fair nutrition. Call we for you that Indra prompt to listen, him who hath done so much for men's advantage, who, Lord of envied bounty, to a singer like me brings quickly booty worth the capture. When the sharp-pointed arrow, O thou hero, flieth mid any conflict of the people, when faithful one the dread encounter cometh, then be thou the protector of our body. Further the holy thoughts of Vamadeva. Be thou a guileless friend in fight for booty. We come to thee whose providence protects us. Wide be thy sway forever for thy singer. O Indra, with these men who love thee truly, free givers, Mangavan in every battle, may we rejoice through many autumns, quelling our foes as days subdue the nights with splendor. Now as the Bragus wrought a car for Indra, the strong, the mighty, we, our prayer, have fashioned, that he may ne'er withdraw from us his friendship, but be our body's guard and strong defender. Now Indra, lauded, glorified with praises, let power swell high like rivers for the singer. For thee a new hymn, Lord of Bays, is fashioned. May we, car-borne through song, be victors ever. And let us combine our real-world deeds with the messages of the revealed and inspired scripture. I mean, actually inspired, not just, oh, I got an idea, I'm going to write a book and dedicate it to this entity. Let us repeat these things or think of these things as we're let's think of the actual verses and say the actual verses if we can as we do these acts. Now, I misspoke the lines. He with his succor, best of heroes, scattered by the blinding darkness so that men saw clearly. Well, absolute darkness tends not to be what we're actually encountering, right? But hymn 4:17, Indra, 21 verses. Great art thou, Indra, yea, the earth with gladness and heaven confess to thee thine high dominion, thou in thy vigor, having slaughtered Vritra, didst free the floods, arrested by the dragon. Heaven trembled at the birth of thine effulgence. Earth trembled at the fear of thy displeasure. The steadfast mountains shook in agitation. The waters flowed, and desert spots were flooded. Hurling his bolt with might, he cleft the mountain. While pouring forth his strength, he showed his vigor. He slaughtered Vritra with his bolt, exulting, and, their lord slain, forth flowed the waters swiftly. Thy father, Kyaus, esteemed himself a hero. Most noble was the work of Indra's maker, his who begat the strong bolt's lord, who roareth immovable like earth from her foundation, he who alone overthrows the world of creatures, Indra, the people's king, invoked of many. Verily all rejoice in him, extolling the boons which Bhagavan the god hath sent them. All summa juices are his own forever. Most gladdening draughts are ever his, the mighty. Thou ever wast the treasure lord of treasures. Indra, thou lettest all folk share thy bounty. Moreover, when thou first wast born, O Indra, thou struckest terror into all the people. Thou, Bhagavan, rentest with thy bolt the dragon who lay against the water floods of heaven. The ever-slaying, bold and furious Indra, the bright bolt's lord, infinite, strong and mighty, who slayeth Vritra and acquireth booty, giver of blessings, Bhagavan the bounteous, alone renowned as Bhagavan in battles. He frighteneth away assembled armies. He bringeth us the booty that he winneth. May we, well loved, continue in his friendship. Renowned is he when conquering and when slaying. 'Tis he who winneth cattle in the combat. When Indra hardened his indignation, all that is fixed and all that moveth feareth him. Indra hath won all kine, all gold, all horses. Bhagavan, he who breaketh forts in pieces. Most manly with these men of his who help him, dealing out wealth and gathering the treasure. What is the care of Indra for his mother? What cares he for the father who begat him? His care is that which speeds his might in conflicts, like wind borne onward by the clouds that thunder. Bhagavan makes the settled man unsettled. He scatters dust that he hath swept together. Breaking in pieces, like heaven armed with lightning, Bhagavan shall enrich the man who lauds him. He urged the chariot wheel of Surya forward. Atasa speeding on his way, he rested. Him the black undulating cloud bedeweth. In this mid-air's depth, at the base of darkness, as in the night, the sacrificing priest, eager for booty, craving strength and horses, we singers stir Indra, the strong for friendship, who gives the wives we seek, whose succor fails not to hasten like a pitcher to the fountain. Be thou our guardian, show thyself our kinsman, watching and blessing those who pour the soma, as friend, as sire, most fatherly of fathers, giving the suppliant vital strength and freedom. Be helping, friend of those who seek thy friendship, give life, when lauded Indra to the singer. For Indra, we the priests have paid thee worship, exalting thee with these our sacrifices. Alone when Indra Bhagavan is lauded, he slayeth many ne'er resisted Vritras, him in whose keeping is the well-loved singer. Never do gods or mortals stay or hinder. E'en so let Bhagavan, the loud-voiced Indra, give us true blessings. Foeless men's upholder, king of all creatures, give us glory amply exalted, glory due to him who lauds thee. Now Indra, lauded, glorified with praises, let power swell high like rivers for the singer. For thee a new hymn, Lord of bays, is fashioned. May we, car-borne, through song be victors ever. And don't you think that this implies not just a physical thing going on, but a spiritual occurrence amongst it, witnessed as if it was physical, right? You know what I mean? Like that we're actually aware of it, even though we're living in this body. 4:18, Indra and others, 13 verses. This is the ancient and accepted pathway by which all gods have come into existence. Hereby one could be born, though waxen mightily. Let him not otherwise destroy his mother. Not this way go I forth. Hard is the passage. Forth from the side obliquely will I issue. Much that is yet undone must I accomplish. One must I combat, and the other question. He bent his eye upon the dying mother. My word I now withdraw. That way I follow. In Vashtar's dwelling, Indra drank the soma, 100 worth of juice pressed from the mortar. What strange act shall he do, he whom his mother bore for 1,000 months and many autumns? No peer hath he among those born already, nor among those who shall be born hereafter. Deeming him a reproach, his mother hid him, Indra, endowed with all heroic valor. Then up he sprang himself, assumed his vesture, and filled as soon as born the earth and heaven. With lively motion onward flow these waters, the holy ones shouting as 'twere together, ask them to tell thee what the floods are saying, what girdling rock the waters burst asunder. Are they addressing him with words of welcome? Will the floods take on them the shame of Indra? With his great thunderbolt my son hath slaughtered Vritra, and set these rivers free to wander. I cast thee from me, mine, thy youthful mother, thee, mine own offspring, Kshava hath swallowed. To him mine infant were the waters gracious. Indra, my son, rose up in conquering vigor. Thou art mine own, O Mangavan, whom Vyamsa struck to the ground and smote thy jaws in pieces. But smitten through the mastery thou wonnest, and with thy bolt the Dasa's head thou crushest. The heifer hath brought forth the strong, the mighty, the unconquerable bull, the furious Indra. The mother left her unlicked calf to wander, seeking himself the path that he would follow. Then to her mighty child the mother turned her, saying, My son, these deities forsake thee. Then Indra said about the slaughter, Vritra, O my friend Vritra, stride boldly forward. Who was he, then, who made thy mother widow, who sought to stay thee, lying still or moving? What god, when by thy foot thy sire thou tookest and slewest, was at hand to give thee comfort? In deep distress I cooked a dog's intestines. Among the gods I found not one to comfort. My consort I beheld in degradation. The falcon then brought me the pleasant soma. And, well, if you do what you have to do to survive, nothing to criticize here. But parents need to realize that their children will have their own path, and when they're no longer children, it's totally, only they can have their path at that point. But when they need physically help to get by and whatnot, that's different. So 11 verses is hymn 419, Indra. Thee merely, O thunder-wielding Indra, all the gods hear, the helpers swift to listen, and both the worlds elected, thee the mighty high, waxen strong, alone to slaughter Vritra. The gods as one worn with eld, relax their efforts. Thou Indra, born of truth, with sovereign ruler, thou slewest Ahe, who besieged the waters and duckest out their all-supporting channels. Insatiate one, extended hard to waken, who slumbered in perpetual sleep, O Indra. The dragon stretched against the 7 prone rivers, where no joint was. Thou rentest with thy thunder. Indra with might shook the earth, and her foundation as the wind stirs the water with its fury. Striving with strength, he burst the firm asunder, and tore away the summits of the mountains. They ran to thee as mothers to their offspring. The clouds, like chariots, hastened forth together. Thou didst refresh the streams and force the billows. Thou, Indra, settest free obstructed rivers. Thou, for the sake of Vaya and Turvita, didst stay the stream flowing all sustaining. Yea, at their prayer didst check the rushing river, and make the floods easy to cross, O Indra. He let the young maids skilled in law, unwedded like fountains, bubbling, flow forth, streaming onward. He undulated thirsty plains and deserts, and milked the dry cows of the mighty master. Through many a morn and many a lovely autumn, having slain Vritra, lie, set free the rivers, Indra hath set at liberty to wander on earth, the streams encompassed, pressed together. Lord of bay steeds, thou broughtest from the ant-hill the unwedded damsel's son, whom ants were eating. The blind saw clearly as he grasped the serpent, rose, brake the jar, his joints again united. The wise man, O sage and sovereign ruler, the man who knoweth all thine ancient exploits, hath told these deeds of might as thou hast wrought them, great acts, spontaneous, and to man's advantage. Now Indra, lauded, glorified with praises, let powers swell high like rivers for the singer. For thee a new hymn, Lord of bays, is fashioned. May we car-born through song be victors ever. Now, just as we saw previously, this idea of, well, there's more to do and all that, we realize as we get older or we get poorer or whatever our means get reduced, well, we're just not able to do as much. And that's just fine. And when it's best, our prayers are answered in this world in terms that we'll, recognize as such. Our prayers also may be saved for the next world, and that's really the best, but sometimes it's granted in both.